We'll just kind of be still for about 3
Well, you can
seconds.
be sitting here?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna sit there. And,
Do I have to be facing you when you're talking? When we're talking?
I mean, you
Work.
You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
You can talk into the camera, or you know, you can like we're doing right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll stop for we'll just kind of hold off for about 3 seconds, and then I'll start.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. A couple of days ago, I had the opportunity to interview Howard King. Howard King is a very nice gentleman and very intellectual and very smart as well. But I took a little time out of his schedule and talked to him about how he creates art in the form of painting. And this is what he said. All right, Mr. Howard, so what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. I do a lot of artwork and trying to get back into exercising.
Okay,
That's about it.
that's about it?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have a joke for you.
You have a what?
A joke for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, what do you call a cow with no legs?
I have no idea.
Ground beef.
Okay. All right.
All right, so I have 10 questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the first question is, how did you get started in painting?
I've always been drawing since I was a little boy, and in my later years, I decided to start trying to paint. I took a painting course at the Brooklyn Museum in Brooklyn,
Okay.
learned how to paint, and from there, it just took off.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So, when painting, do you like music playing in the background, or do you like it quiet?
Sometimes, depending on the subject matter, I have music, but a lot of times it's just quiet.
Just quiet. When you do have music, what is it, like jazz or something?
Mostly jazz,
Mostly
yeah,
jazz.
yeah.
Okay. And I guess that kind of frees you up to kind of move about and kind of think about some things as you compose. And I guess that's
Well, it puts me in a mood for the painting that I'm doing, but that's basically it.
Okay.
Sometimes I have no jazz on at all.
right.
Sometimes I'll just have a glass of wine
Right.
as support.
Right.
And
And you just do your thing.
yeah,
Okay. That's interesting. So my next question is there a certain time of day or night that works best for you when you paint?
yeah, usually mid-morning. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Sometimes whatever hits me, depending on the painting that I'm doing.
Okay.
I could get up in the morning.
Right.
I won't do it early in the morning, but mostly after 10.
Okay.
And I don't go all the way into the evening.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Usually about 4. I can try to stop about 4 or 5 o'clock,
Okay.
depending on how long it takes me to do a subject.
Right. So you'll work on that for a few hours and then just kind of rest and then kind of come back and.
No, I won't come back.
Oh, you just go ahead and finish it up.
I won't try to finish, but I'll work on it for a couple of hours.
Right.
And whatever is done that day is done.
Okay.
And then I'll do some more the next day.
Okay. Fair enough. My next question is, did painting come easily for you, or were there difficulties?
Once I learned the fundamentals of painting, it wasn't a hard transition from drawing to painting.
Okay.
To me, it was just adding color instead of just drawing black and white.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Okay. That's good. Okay. So my next question is, when you see other paintings and art, do you critique them?
Yes, and it makes me realize how much I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I'm more or less self-taught in painting,
Right.
but aside from painting, I didn't take any other painting course. I just took a course to learn how to paint in color.
Right.
But other than that, there's a whole avenue of stuff
Right.
I needed to learn.
Right.
You know, which I found out I don't know.
I think you did good. I will say that because you know, some of the paintings that you have, you know, in your house, and then you know the one painting that you did for me and everything like that. You know, I mean, I thought it was excellent myself.
Well, unfortunately, me and a buddy of mine, he was educated in the School of Visual Arts. So we did a few shows in Brooklyn. We had a 2-man show. He's very adept at much more knowledgeable than I am.
Right.
But I'm realizing as I was going along, there's a lot I don't know
Right. Right.
that I should have
Right.
taken some more classes
Right.
you know,
Right.
to learn.
Okay. Okay. Like I said, it's hard for me to see because I tell you what, I look, you know, and I'm like, oh man, I'm liking everything that you've done so far.
Well, like your question before about critiquing, I look at artists who are doing certain things, and there's a lot of things I just took for granted.
Right.
Insofar as I should have learned how to do.
Right. Right.
It would have improved my paintings a lot more.
Okay. Because I mean, I guess that's the same way with you know, with me and the instrument. There's a lot of things that you know, I do halfway decent, but you know, I'm like yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I see that there's a lot of things that I don't know.
There's a whole world of stuff.
Yeah.
And plus the different subject matter. Every subject matter takes a different technique or a different touch. And I mean, you can't hit on everything, but there's a lot out there.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I know a couple of days ago you said that you're kind of changing up from doing like people and stuff. So you're doing I guess floral. I think that's.
I'm going to change up the subject matter because that's all I was doing since I started painting. Was people.
Right.
And I've learned a lot of techniques about people. I've done scenic stuff, which is nice.
Right.
And I decided I'm tired of doing people.
Right.
I'm not learning anymore.
Right.
You know, I need to broaden my horizons a little bit.
And then this will do it.
Right. This is the techniques I use in floral painting will change up and make me a little looser than when I'm painting, because sometimes I get too tight doing people.
Right. I can understand that. Okay. Yeah, that was good. So I like that. All of that. So my next question is, what do you do to get inspiration for painting something?
Well, when I first started painting, I was trying to paint from my knowledge of life, real life, what I grew up, but again, even to do that, you need the background in anatomy to do certain things which it's in my head, but
Right.
I don't have the expertise to do it because
Right.
I should have studied that a little more.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But I like motion. I like inspiration from everyday life or what's going on.
Right.
And I try to interpret that, but
Okay.
you know, it's sometimes a little hard.
Right.
You know?
I can understand that. I can understand that. Sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next question is, does anyone else in your family paint?
Yes, my sister.
Oh, okay.
She paints watercolors and pastels,
Okay.
and she's very good at
Very
that.
good.
She likes doing that. She's done a lot of that.
Okay.
I tried watercolors
Right.
and pastels. That's not my
That's not your
repertoire.
thing.
That's not my thing.
Right.
No.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Now let me ask you this, and this is kind of off the script. So who started first as far as painting? Was it her or was it you, or y'all just kind of
I
started?
really don't know.
Okay.
I know I drew a lot when I was a little boy,
Right.
and I didn't know she did that
Right.
until I found out later that she was into
Right.
into
Same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think what it is my family is what can I say, artistically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
My mother did a lot of crocheting,
Okay.
knitting.
Right.
My brother. Oh, I'm sorry. My brother also.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot of painting also. You know,
Okay.
so it's in the family.
Right.
Yeah.
So the seed was planted a long time ago, I guess. Or
It's inherited.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's good. That's good. That is good. Okay. So my next question is, what advice would you give someone that would like to get started in painting?
Take classes.
Okay.
Take classes to learn what it is you want to do, or learn this about art, or what it is you want to do. You could be very talented, but there's a lot of easier ways or different ways of manipulating art.
Right.
Drawing, painting,
Right.
sculpturing,
Right.
all of that. You need to take classes.
Right.
Yeah.
That would aid in
Yes.
you doing all of those things. And,
Right.
and out of that, you might just pick one area, I guess, to kind of go in, or you could kind of do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, or
Yes, and it would also enable you to do things a lot easier.
okay,
And I'm realizing that now, as long as I've been painting over 40 years or better,
right,
and there's still a lot I don't know.
right,
And if I had taken classes, I would have,
right,
a lot better,
okay,
Especially rendering people,
Right.
figures. You have to have a knowledge of, what's the word? What's the term I'm trying to get? I had it on the tip of my tongue. When you're doing people, what is that term? I can't think of it. I'll get it in a minute.
oh, you good.
Yeah.
You're not referring to like movement or how a person moves.
Figures,
right?
the whole 9 yards. There's I don't know why I can't think of the term right now.
Right.
It's I got books and everything. It's,
Right.
I'll get it in a minute.
Oh, you good.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me something that I might not know about you.
I don't know. I don't know what you might not know. I don't know. I don't know what there is to know.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, is there a question that I should have asked and didn't?
Well, I really can't say. I at one time was into motorcycles,
Okay.
Mostly I was in artwork
Okay.
and photography. I was doing studio work
Oh.
at one
okay,
time. Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
I had the lights, backgrounds, and I had models, and
Right.
I did a lot of shooting
Okay.
with cameras and
Right.
lights and stuff like that.
Okay.
That was fun. You know.
Right.
I still can't think of this term.
The term,
I wanna
yeah.
use, yeah.
It's okay.
It's a simple term. I don't know why I can't remember it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, I had a motorcycle. I've been in several motorcycle accidents.
Okay.
You know.
So you're not doing the motorcycle thing no more?
No. No, I finished that back in what is it, 90s,
Okay.
95, 96.
Right.
I forgot how old I was then. But that was, at one time, I know what you didn't know.
Okay.
At one time I wanted to learn to fly a plane.
Wow. Okay.
I found out that years ago, back in when I was about 40 years old, that you could take flying lessons
Right.
and learn to fly a plane, that you didn't have to buy a plane, you could rent a plane
Right.
and go wherever you wanted to go.
Okay.
I took some classes for private pilot,
Okay.
and I learned a lot about airplanes,
Right.
how to fly, where to go. There's avenues in the sky like there is on the ground.
Right. Okay.
But unfortunately, I didn't pursue that because
Right.
a couple of my friends at the time bought motorcycles.
Okay.
And
that's what started you down the motorcycle thing.
well, I had motorcycles before that.
Right.
I had a motorcycle in the 70s, and I rode for a few years, and I stopped.
Right.
And I decided, at the time when I found that I could learn, this
Right.
take pilot license, I took classes for that.
Okay.
But then what I got shortcutted was a couple of my buddies that I hung out with
Right.
bought motorcycles that killed my pilot
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So I bought a motorcycle instead of,
Right. Instead of doing the
Yeah,
the power.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
and unfortunately, that's one of my regrets.
Right.
Something that I wanted to do.
Well, we all
But
have it.
unfortunately,
Right.
I was living in New York at the time,
Mhm.
and it's a bit difficult to learn to fly in New York.
Right.
Too many restrictions, plus the airport was way out in Long Island.
Mhm.
So I have to drive out there each time I take a class,
Right.
or even learn. Whereas here in North Carolina, it's a lot easier.
Right, to do that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I would think that the skies are not as congested, I guess, here. I mean, they're still there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
probably not as
It's a lot easier to fly in the rural places.
Right.
Big cities,
Yeah.
you're restricted. You
Yeah.
can't fly
Yeah.
like you can down in the southern states or the lower states. Not the metropolitan areas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'd imagine. Okay.
I'm still trying to think of
You
this
still
term.
trying to think of that term?
It's an easy term,
Right.
man. It has to do with I don't know why I can't remember it right now. Has to do with learning the body and the movement and everything else, and it's a term for that. And,
Right.
Oh,
I
well,
don't know. Okay.
okay, I can't think of that, man.
Well, you
I
think,
don't
you
know
think
why I
about
can't
it,
think of it.
you let me know, and
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
get it in there, I guess.
Oh man, it has to do with when you're doing a figure,
Right.
anatomy. That's
Okay.
what it is, anatomy.
Okay.
You have to know when you're doing figures, anatomy.
Right.
And that's a whole big subject.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing figures, you have to know where the muscles are, where they show when you're doing a painting or a drawing, when you're bending, walking, standing, what it looks like when you're doing figures. There's this artist, I'm not gonna mention his name.
Right.
I guess I could, but
Right.
that very good artist. I mean, his anatomy. I got his books when I first started working. Oh, I was a motorman
Right.
for the transit authority,
Okay.
and in the '60s, I started reading a lot of books on my way to work,
Right.
and I found this particular artist, and I bought the books, fantasy artist, because of the artwork and not the book. But the books were good,
Right.
but he was very adept at anatomy. His anatomy was,
Right. So he was spot on.
oh man, famous artist, as a matter of fact. He passed a few years back. He had a home in Pennsylvania, but I could never paint like him. He was off the scale. But anatomy, you have to know anatomy when you're doing figures.
Right.
You have to know it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not going to achieve the effect or the movement that you have to, because you don't know what the muscles look like
Right.
when you, depending on how they're moving or what they're doing. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this: are any of your paintings for sale?
All of my paintings are for sale.
Okay.
I don't paint to sell,
Right.
but they are for sale, and I have sold.
Right.
I have sold quite a few.
Right.
In New York
Okay.
and here, down here. I've sold, and everything is for sale.
Okay. All right.
Mm,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Well, Mr. Howard, that's all the questions I have.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.